So what we're going to do is we are going to go jump into a TSheets dashboard, which you can see on my screen right here. This is my Peanuts crew account, so my team's all here for everybody to, work and sign in and track those hours. Now, from within this account, I am currently logged in as an administrator. So I have the highest level of permissions in the account. So when I run reports, I'm going to see the hours tracked by everyone in the account, right? Now, other members, other users of your system can run reports as well. It just depends on their permissions or depends on their group or manager who all they can see. So if you have specific questions about that, let me know and I'll kind of go through kind of who can see what. But from today, again, as an admin, I'm going to be able to run these reports and see the time for all of my employees. So let me go ahead and close out of a few of these windows here. We're going to start over on that left-hand side in your main menu. Now, the first report we're going to take a look at is this one up at the top called the Approvals Report. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and we'll take a look. Now, again, take notes as we're going along. Also, again, send those questions over as you have them. And I will show you a kind of a resource at the end called the Knowledge Base, which is going to be somewhere you can go to look for all of your resources as well. But let's go over here to the left and find Approvals. Now, when we click on Approvals, you're going to see this report pop up, and every report that you open up will have a filter for you to put information into, basically helping you know what date range you're going to look at, which employees, all that. So from here in the Approvals report, before we even look at the filter, let's talk about its main purpose. What is this report used for? So this one, its main purpose is that it allows you as an administrator or maybe managers to review and approve your employees' time. Now, the approval of time actually puts a lock over those timesheets that you've reviewed to ensure that no other edits can be made. So it's kind of your nice permanent bookmark over a certain date range. So that's kind of what you can think of it as saying, okay, I've checked this dates over, I'm locking it so nothing else can be changed. Now, let's then look at the filter. The filter you can put in date ranges and employees. So it is important to note with the Approvals report that when you pick a date range, either it's by week, a pay period, or even a custom date range, whatever you select here, just make sure that you're picking something that's already had time entered into it or a past date range. Because again, when you approve time, it's putting that lock on it. So even if it's a date range with 0 hours in there, it would approve that saying nothing's in there or locking it as 0. Now you can always unapprove, it's okay, but just as kind of that main rule of thumb to make sure that process is smooth as possible, just make sure you put that in for a past range. Okay, so I'll pick a past range. My employees, if I leave the employee field blank, this is an important tip for you as admins. If I leave this blank, when I run the report, it's going to run for all of my employees. So I won't have to run it one person after the other. But you do have a filter option down here for groups and employees. So if I wanted to just look at a specific team, a specific group, I could come here to actually select that if I wanted to. But right now it's just going to select everybody. You can change your totals, kind of how you'd like to see them, how you'd like it sorted. And then of course you can sort by group name if you'd like. So from here, I'm just going to kind of run it for last week for everybody, and we'll see how it looks. Now, with this report, you are going to see over on the left-hand side each of your employees listed out, and they all have their own approve or reject button or unapproved button. Depends if you have a submit time option enabled or not. And if you have questions about that, let me know too. But with this, you've got your employees over here, and on the right-hand side, you'll see all of those totals. Now, these are the totals for, again, whatever date range you selected, and from here, you can at least check it out. You can see if they have overtime, if they have regular hours or any PTO. And remember, this is just the total. You can, underneath the total, see a little button that says View Details. When you click on that, it's going to expand a little pop-up here that shows you the job breakout, any overtime that they earned, any PTO that they took, and then actually a section for each and every timesheet. So from here, not only could I see what those 16.35 hours were really about, but if I wanted to, I can see each timesheet. And my favorite thing for you as an admin is that you can actually come here to, if you needed to, edit a timesheet, add one, or delete one. So it's really an interactive place for you to go. So you don't have to come here and be like, oh, well, I need to go make an edit. I need to go, over to this next section. You can really do everything right from here. So let's say I wanted to edit something. I could hover over the timesheet, and I could see 3 icons. Now the one with the little piece of paper and a pencil, that's your edit button. So you could click right on that to then see a timesheet editor, where I could then change start time, end time, the date, the job, the task. I could add notes, I could put in a break, whatever I might need to change, all from right here within this editor, and of course save when I'm done. Now when you are hovering over a timesheet, you'll also see a little red circle. That's your delete option. And if you see a little map icon over on the left hand side, that is icon you can see the GPS too, so that map of where they've gone. Then of course up at the top there's even an add button. So maybe Charlie Brown was feeling sick one day. I could come here to click on add timesheet, and I could say, okay, do I want time in and out? Do I want duration? Do I want a specific job? Can I scroll through the jobs? I can even scroll through different paid time off codes or breaks. So if he was sick on a certain day, I could select sick. I can go back here and let's say he was sick on the 31st on Halloween. So I could select that, whatever I might need, put in my notes, and then save that to enter that entry. So now it would put that right in place as well. So lots that you can do here from the report. Now, let's say everything looks good. You're ready to go. We will now approve the date range. So we're gonna go over to the left. We're gonna click that approve button, and now you'll see this whole thing will change colors. That's indicating that this is locked for Charlie Brown here. So now if I went to go view the details, it would then show me, okay, here's everything and a little lock icon over it. So just showing me now that it's ready to go. So that's your approvals report. Again, just putting those approvals on, making so that it is set in stone as your permanent bookmark. Now, if you ever decide, oops, I need to go back in and change something, come here, click the unapprove button, and then you could go in and make those changes and then approve it again. So lots that you can do here. Now, one little trick too for you as admins, if you ever decide you run this report and you're like, you know what? I need to pick a different date range, or I need to filter for something else. Don't feel like you have to close the report out and open it back up again. Just go back up to report filters, and then you can pick a different date range. You could go by pay period. You could even do a custom date range if you wanted. So I could go back, let's say October here to the 1st. I could run it for something specific and see those details right from here. So just know that you can update anything from that report filters drop down. So that is your approvals report, putting those locks on those timesheets. All right, well, let's go ahead and jump into our next report here. So again, we're going to go over to our left-hand side. And again, under approvals, you will see a section for reports. Now it has a little arrow over to the right of it, so it lets you know that there's more when you click on it. So we'll open this up and we're going to see a few more options. We'll see kind of the top section, which are different reports that you can run inside of the account here. We call them kind of interactive options, live reports here. And then you have a section towards the bottom here of different exports. Now we'll cover these two and tell you about them. Well, let's go ahead and go to our second option here, which is the payroll report. Now, with this, again, we always talk about the purpose when we first open this up. And the main purpose of the payroll report is for you to really see a look at your employees, the full details of their timesheets, kind of a summary of what they worked, what those hours were. And one thing that the approvals report didn't do that this one does is allow you to print and download. So take that information that's been tracked in your account and use it elsewhere as needed. Now with this one, again, you've got a filter. You can go by week, by month, by pay period, custom date range as well, whatever you're wanting to look at. And select that here from your menu. And again, for employees, you could type in one person's name or leave it blank to run for everyone. And again, you can decide what you want your totals in. I'm going to run hours and minutes. I'm going to sort by last name, and we'll hide employees with 0 hours. Let's go ahead and run the report here. Now, with this, the first thing I want you to take a look at when you look at this report is up at the top in this left section. You're going to see different color-coded boxes. Now, each box represents a different type of time. Now, depending on how you set up your TSheets account, whether you track overtime or you don't, or you track double time, or if you use PTO, or whatever the case may be, we will show different totals here and different colors based on that. So this is going to be something that's a little bit different depending on your company and how your setup is. But for mine, just as an example here, you can see straight time, regular, PTO, overtime, total hours, breaks, everything is separated out for me just for what has been worked. So again, the calculations are all done, so I don't have to do this as an admin. A big time saver for me. Now, while these totals up here at the left are for every employee, I can then scroll down to see each and every person and their own totals too. Now, of course, all their totals are also color coded. So I can see green for regular, I can see PTO, so paid time off, leave hours, overtime, it's all gonna be here. Now, what I can also do is to get more information is I will click on the employee's name. So let's take a look at Lucy, for instance. When I click on her name, I'm going to then scroll down to see the expanded details. This will show me up at the top in the gray boxes her day total. So for any day that she worked in the date range that I selected, it's going to show me how many hours worked. So I could quickly glance at that to see, oh, this day has way over the normal. I should probably go and check that because it probably needs an edit made. Maybe she forgot to, clock out one day until later. She got home and was like, whoops. So that's a quick place to go and check all that out. I can also see the job breakouts in this pie chart. I can see what was worked where, overtime details, and again, even a paid time off section. So I can see she did take a sick day. Now, from here, this lower section is also very helpful for you as an admin because from here, you can see each and every timesheet. And again, just like you could from the approvals report, you can hover over these timesheets to use the icons on the left to delete, edit, or view the map. And there's even an add button right up at the top. So really, again, this is your one-stop shop where you can see what's been worked and actually make adjustments here too. Now, from here, like I mentioned, in this report, you can also print and download. Now, one place to download, if you're looking for just one employee, if I just wanted to download Lucy's information, take a look over here on the right. See these options in the black bar? I can download as a CSV, Excel, or PDF, so I can get all of her information in whatever format I want. Now, what if I want everybody's information? Then what I'll have you do is come up here to the top left, and you will see where there's a print button. That'll print however the page is viewed right now. So if I wanted just kind of the summaries here, I could click print, or I could expand each detail for each person, then click print. Now there's also a download button where I can get the totals or the timesheets. When you click on this download button, you'll see a little drop-down menu that appears up at the top right. You can see payroll totals, payroll by day, or individual timesheets. And you can kind of decide again which format you want. But again, this is for you to see what they've tracked in different formats out of the account. We don't want you to feel like everything's tied in to just what you see here, okay? So that is right here in your little exports drop-down. And then the last option here is to open as a PDF because we want to make sure, again, you get the information you need, whatever format. So the PDF is going to be same details, same notes, same, tracking what you've been clocking in and out of, jobs, customers, all the things, but again, printer friendly. So that's here in your payroll report. So again, just a quick overview of this, but this is, I kind of would say it's one of your most popular ones, but most helpful. It is going to be something where you can really pull all those details right to see what your employees are putting in. We'll go ahead and jump right into our next report. So this next one, again, we're going to go over to the left-hand side, click on reports, and under payroll, you will see the project report. Now this one, when we open it up, you're going to see a very similar filter, but let's jump into the purpose. What is this one for? Now, very similar to the payroll, this one's going to show you the full details of the timesheets, but instead of focusing on your employees, on the team, this one's more focusing on what that time was worked for. So was it a job, a project, a customer? What were they actually clocking in and out of? So with this one, that then in turn shows you can filter off of that. So with this, your filter does a little bit bigger. You can again run by week, by pay period, custom date range. I'm going to run for a custom date range this time. We'll go a couple months into the future, or into the past, I should say here, and then into the first of this month. So then we'll do that. Again, employees, I'm going to run for everyone. Leave this blank. And then I'll select decimal, name, but then we get into filters for what's been actually tracked. So within this section here, I could put in a filter for a job, or for the different advanced tracking that I have. Now, advanced tracking, if you're not quite sure, is something that you as admins can enter in as a field for your employees to select from as they're going in and putting in details about their time, right, for what they're working on. So this could be billable, equipment use, tasks. These are just some examples I have here. But from this one, I'm just going to select a job filter. I'm going to come here and I want to see, okay, for that date range, how much time has been tracked to Eagle Townhomes. Now my Eagle Townhomes has 2 suites underneath it, so I can actually see a breakdown of where those hours have been individually. So I'll click that and that filter will be on, and then I'll click Run Report. Now when I run this report, it's going to show me individual pie charts for the different filterable options, right? So jobs, groups, employees, and task. Now with this, it's a lot of color, but each color's for something. I can hover over each piece of the pie to see what that was worked for. So Eagle Townhome Suite A, that's got 27% of the hours, and 73% was Suite B. So I can see that breakdown. Now I can also see the groups, who's been working those hours, and then the employees and task as well. Now each piece of the pie I could actually click on to then filter down even more. So if I just wanted to see Suite B details, clicked on that, and now it's just going to pull all that up for me. So I can really see what's happening. Now, of course, you can click on more pieces of the pie to add more and more filters as you need. But with this filter, I see a lot. Now, and again, it's just up to you on what you're trying to pull, but this one's going to show you all those details. Now, with this also, up at the top left, you have more buttons. And these buttons are for you to view the timesheets. When you view the timesheets, you can actually hover over them, and you can edit, you can delete, you can see the notes over on the far side on the right, you can see attachments, you can really see every little bit of information. So you can also edit, right? So it's multi-purpose. You can also download the timesheets in a CSV. You can print the report so you can get it in your hands. And then there's even an employee job costing option. Now this here, if you click on this, it's going to allow you to actually see a report where you can run it for a specific date range to see the actual estimated cost of regular hours, overtime hours, all of that. So again, depending on what you're running to, what your different rates are, what you're calculating for overtime, you'll actually see what that might cost you. So it's helping you do the calculations to actually see how its impact will be for you, right? And for your team. So with this, your job costing is right inside of your project report. Now, with this job costing section, you can group it by job code, you can calculate grand totals, and over, of course, on the right, you can download this as a CSV. Because again, we want to make sure you can get this information outside of your account as well. And that is right here inside of the project report. And again, this is just a quick look here, but again, showing you the time that's been tracked, focused on your jobs, customers, projects, clients, whatever you might have getting inputted in those timesheets. So let's see if there's questions about this one. I see a couple that popped over right here, so let me take a look. So Ben, you were wondering, to do that employee job costing, where do the rates go, right? So how do you actually get that to calculate? So for that, it's a great question. So let me close out of this really quick. So for your employees, when you open up your employee list of all of your team, you'll have your users, and you'll click on the username to open up the employee editor, and it's right in here towards the bottom of this first page where you'll see a pay rate section. So that's where you'd want to put in the details for your employees. So you would have, of course, this is the rate per hour, per day, whatever. So that way, then it will calculate for you in that report. Okay? So I'd come here into the employee editor, put that in, press save, and of course, then you can run that report to get those actual calculated estimates. So great question there. Now, we're getting short on time here, so we want to make sure that we cover just a few more things before we wrap up here in our webinar. But again, I'll stay here at the end, and I'll answer more questions, of course, so send those over as you have them. But the last little place I'm going to take you in our reporting masterclass today is to the section of these export options below. So of course we went through some of the live options, but in this drop down you'll also see a section for schedule reports if you're using our scheduling add-on for scheduled versus worked, tardies. You can see different ones for exceptions. You can get exports out of the account. The logging and auditing section will be very helpful for you as an admin if you want to see some of those audit trails in the background. So the system log, the timesheet log, the balances of your PTO, if you want to get that exported out to actually see what's been happening there, this is where you'd go. You also have a section for payroll that includes a wage report and a payroll hours summary by employee too. So again, that kind of payroll side of things. And then also a tracking section. Now the tracking section is someplace I would recommend for you to go to if you're looking for kind of two maybe singular options to run a report off of. If you're wanting to know hours by this and that, those two options you could run here, so you can see hours by date, hours by group, by job. And again, this is where you kind of explore, see what format you like, see what points you want to pull off of. And here's the thing, these are all here for you to test out. You can run them, you can see what you think, and we want to hear from you. If there's a report that you're like, this is close, but is there one that's a little bit different, a little bit better, we can help explore all these options with you. We can be on the phone with you, we can hear what your pain points are, maybe what you're used to running, and we can try to help you find the report that best fits all of your needs. So we want to hear from you. We want to help get that report right where you need it. So let us know how we can help. Remember, our support team is here 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's totally free to contact us. Now, at the bottom of every TSheets account, you can find the ways to get a hold of us. You've got live chat in the bottom left here. That is one of the quickest ways to reach us. We answer chats in under 12 seconds, so speedy. So you can always check that out there. You can also call us. Our phone number is in the bottom middle, that 888 number, and that's again always free. And then contact us. You can email us. And again, all these options to contact us, there's never a, oh, you have to buy a support plan. Nope, just reach out and we'll be more than happy to assist. Now, the last thing I want to mention too is our help center. So you can always go help.tsheets.com and you will find our knowledge base in which you can type for any certain terms, or you can see the specific kind of bulleted areas of these different topics. And there's a specific topic area for reports. So you can always jump in there to see maybe different guides, kind of FAQs, how to run the reports. So again, whatever resource, we want to be able to provide it. So just take a look here at our knowledge base, or call us or chat us, and we'll be more than happy to help. Thanks for joining, and have a great rest of your day.